In the spotlight tonight, Haleigh Cummings now missing for 2 months. The desperate search almost at a standstill as leads slow down to a mere trickle. Cops seem to have hit a dead end. And 5-year-old Haleigh's estranged mother and father feuding like crazy. So what's next? And why do private eyes, bounty hunters, and reporters keep digging up really astounding leads? Let's go straight out to TJ Hart, program and news director with WSKY 97.3 FM, joins me by phone. TJ, what's the very latest?
Well, here we are in week 9 and still no Haleigh. And I got to tell you, law enforcement is busting it to try to get something going here. They're following all kinds of leads, but the leads have slowed down to a trickle. We've had all kinds of private investigators and lawyers and their people who've been out in the field trying to turn up leads as well. It appeared that we got somewhere about a week or two ago, but right now we're not getting any kind of verification and we're not getting any answers from law enforcement. And still, Haleigh is missing.
And a startling aspect to this case, mystery man Greg. Kim Bacasio, she's the attorney for the missing child's mother, says witnesses have claimed to her that Greg, this mystery man, was with Misty Crosland on the very night that little Haleigh vanished on Misty's watch. But here's what Greg told investigative journalist Art Harris.
I was startled to think that they actually thought I was there at the time, you know what I mean? Because only a fool would be at another man's house laying up with his girlfriend, you know what I mean? True enough, I was with the girl that weekend before that, but that Monday, she was at the hospital with her dad, and I never got up with her. I haven't talked to her since then.
You can hear that full interview at artharris.com. The Bald Truth. Fascinating stuff. Art has extensive coverage of this case on his site. TJ, police say they've spoken to Greg. You just heard Greg insist he wasn't there the night little Haleigh went missing, but he does have a long arrest record involving drugs and claims Misty was doing drugs in the weekend leading up to little Haleigh's disappearance. Now, we've tried...
3-day love fest with not only a little bit of intimacy, but also a great deal of intoxicants, including drugs.
And we've tried repeatedly to get Misty's side of the story. We haven't been able to reach her. We reach her again. We have an open invitation. Misty, tell us your side. But what are police saying about all of this?
Police are saying very little. They're still being very tight-lipped, Jane, and it appears to me that either one of two things, and it's at either end of the spectrum. One, they're getting very close to making some kind of an announcement to bring this to closure, or the one we fear the most, they're still right back at the very beginning trying to figure out the timeline with Misty Crosland, who has since gone silent.
Well, listen, I have no idea whether any of this is true. Again, this is stuff that's being dredged up by investigative journalists talking to this guy. But if, hypothetically, if Misty was, or if somebody is doing drugs, could that lead them to pass out so that they couldn't observe somebody coming in to take the child? Could it have an impact on her disappearance?
Of course it could. Of course it could. If you're knocked out from taking Oxycontin or something that's going to put you in a groggy state or an altered state and you're out, you're not going to hear anything should an intruder come into your home. I mean, you're almost close to a coma.